This morning, we're learning more about a hit-and-run crash that killed one person and sent several others to the hospital.
Yeah, witnesses in front of the Rock Rest Lodge are giving us a better idea of what led to all of that. 90s reporter Jordan Chavez is here, and we're learning these from information from witnesses, I guess.
Yeah, and we've learned quite a bit of details from them, as well as the arrest affidavit that came out yesterday. So we now know the people inside the truck that plowed into a crowd were drunk, and the arrest affidavit also says security tried to break up an argument between two groups of people in the parking lot just outside of Rock Rest Lodge. That didn't work, though, and it ultimately led to a fist fight. Well, shortly after, Ruben Marquez and Ernest Avila got in that Chevy pickup and drove into the crowd. One man was killed, 6 others were injured. 4 of those people actually went to the hospital. A witness told police that before the fight, he heard the 2 men talk about, quote, gang issues with some of the victims. They said after the crash, the pickup stopped and people ran and tried to pull the driver, out of that truck. Witnesses said one person got out of the pickup, ran, and then someone else tackled him. A man who lives across the street said he saw everything happen, and after the crash, he didn't want the suspects to get away, so he tried to help police, and now he's trying to forget the whole thing.
The people were laying down. The gentleman was laying down already, and 2 other people over here. Well, I saw the whole thing, and frankly, I wish I didn't.
Both Marquez and Avila were in court yesterday. Marquez is being held without bail on a charge of first-degree murder, among others. The affidavit says he was the driver and that Avila actually owned that truck. Their next court appearance is set for Friday, when charges are expected to be formally filed, guys.
Do we know much about the victims in this case yet?
We're still trying to learn a little bit more about them at this point. We do know that one of the victims that was taken to the hospital has been released, so some good news there. And then we also know that police said they actually said that 7 people were hurt initially. Yesterday, they said only 6 people were hurt. So we are getting a little bit of good news as we move along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite the scene out there.
Yeah, that was a mess out there. My goodness. All right. Thank you. An update this morning, the DIA website is back up and running after it was attacked by hackers yesterday. The airport among more than a dozen airport websites that were targeted around the country. This is coming from a group believed to have targeted the state's, our state's website last week, the Colorado website. A DIA spokesperson says the attacks have not been successful and did not disrupt any service. The Russian hacking group Killnet posted a target list of more than 40 airport websites yesterday. Killnet specializes in what they call nuisance attacks.
This is almost just an irritant. I don't consider this part of a war effort. We had distributed denial of service attacks since a very long time ago. They are what we might consider then hacktivists, people who are hacking for a specific cause. And here, of course, the cause is Russia.
Killnet typically posts lists of websites it wants to target and then encourages other hackers to help disrupt those sites. Some new information from the National Transportation Safety Board this morning says that one of the planes involved in a mid-air collision over Boulder County last month was not transmitting data about its position. That data is required for any planes flying in a DIA airspace. Investigators found the left wings of both planes in a field below the crash. The new report also said investigators found neither plane had a collision avoidance system or cockpit displays to alert you to other aircraft. Neither of those systems is required. 22-year-old Daniel Wilmoth, 23-year-old Samuel Fisher, and 69-year-old Henry Butler were all killed in that crash.
This 14er could soon get a new name. Later today, a state board will be considering new names for Mount Evans. The peak is named for Governor John Evans, who was in office during the Sand Creek Massacre. Soldiers killed Native American women and children in a surprise attack. Native people across Colorado want Evans' name to be removed. So in our next half hour, our Darius Johnson will have a better look at this push for a name change and the possible names that are on the table. Right now, the city is looking to help people experiencing homelessness. Applications are now open for a pilot program giving out a monthly income. City Council voted earlier this summer to put $2 million worth of federal funds towards the Denver Basic Income Project. The money will be used to send regular payments to more than 800 people experiencing homelessness. Some of the funds will be used to prioritize women, families, trans people, and gender non-conforming people. To be eligible, people have to be connected with a shelter or other community organization offering support. The Denver Basic Income Project has an application on its website in English and Spanish, and they're going to take applications until early November.
The Colorado Secretary of State's office is trying to clean up a mess right now. Secretary of State's office sent 30,000 non-citizens an invitation to register to vote, even though they are not eligible to vote. The mailers are printed in English and Spanish. They encourage people to go register. The mailers also listed eligibility requirements. One of them was being a U.S. citizen, ironically. Secretary of State's office blamed the bad mailing list on a database error. The people who got the mailers should not be able to register if they try, because they wouldn't have the right kind of driver's license or social security number. Election leaders say that fact shows that the system works, even though there was a human error. Well, today marks exactly 1 month until Election Day here in Colorado, and before you get your vote in the mailbox, 9 News is here to help. We have a series of debates scheduled this month. The first one is going to be this Thursday. Democrat Yadira Caraveo and Republican Barbara Kirkmeyer are running to represent people in the new 8th Congressional District, that is Adams and Weld counties. You can watch that debate right here on Channel 9 this Thursday at 6:30 in the evening. And right now we're in the middle of a pretty mild fall, right? And we're not seeing a huge change anytime soon.
But if you follow weather on social media, you might have heard a very different story. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen walks us through some of the challenges of winter weather forecasting.
The first sizable winter storm of the season appeared in the computer forecast modeling about 13 days ago, and social media started buzzing. Posts showed that a significant snowfall was coming to the Colorado mountains on Wednesday, October the 12th, and even the first snow accumulation of the season in Denver. Well, it turns out there is a winter storm coming on that date, but those initial computer model solutions were off by about 800 miles. Colorado will just get scraped by the bottom of the storm. As the winter weather season approaches, you should know the true expectations and usefulness behind winter forecasts. 30 to 90-day forecasts are actually pretty accurate, but can only tell you if the precipitation or temperature will be above or below the average during that time span. It's the 11 to 16-day forecast where the computer models start to break down more specific timing and impacts. But that information can be very misleading to the public. It should only be used by professional meteorologists recognizing initial atmospheric patterns. 7 to 10 days in advance, the forecast becomes clearer, and the weather information is just reliable enough to be used for some planning purposes. The 3 to 6 day forecast has a high degree of accuracy with broad impacts, like snowfall chances regionally or perhaps statewide. It's only the 1 to 2 day forecast where specific snow information becomes reliable. For example, the amount of snow that might fall in a small area like Denver. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen, 9 News.
By the way, the average first snowfall in Denver is October 18th.
And one thing you want to know about the weather today, temperature normally 68 degrees, but look at these highs along the Front Range in the 70s to near 80 degrees, increasing clouds as the day goes on. Then tomorrow, lots of sunshine and just slightly cooler, temperatures in the 60s to the mid 70s.